Hey, what's going on, guys? It's LuceyGoosey or Kyle, and welcome to a new Pokemon League here on the channel. We are here with a new league, the MLBA, the Major League Battle Association. At least I think that's what that stands for. Anyways, we're here with a draft analysis for your Chicago Bibarels. We're in another league. I know we were in the ISL and videos kind of dropped off for that. I'll be mentioning that in a later video this week, or maybe I already mentioned it in an earlier video this week. I'm not sure when I'm going to be posting this. Probably on the 19th, because that's a week before battles are supposed to be posted, so that's what I'm thinking. Anyways, we're here with another league for the Chicago Bibarels. We're with a draft analysis, and the MLBA is actually really cool because this league, everyone will be required to upload, which is different from all the other leagues. The UPL, just myself and Pokemaster Mike uploaded, and Buff here and there. But yeah, in the ISL, not everybody uploaded, including myself. But now we're here with the MLBA, which is really cool because everyone is going to upload. Anyways, you guys can see on the screen I have a fancy PowerPoint with me today. It's a salary-based draft, so I've never done like the PPL style where Pokemon cost like a certain amount of points and it's not based on tiers, it's actually based on salary, so that's kind of cool. We get 120 points to spend, the most expensive thing being 30 points and the least obviously being 1 point. There were some broken Pokemon, I gotta say. Like, there was Genesect, there was the Megalodons, which aren't super broken. Protein Greninja, Ash Greninja was allowed. Mega Metagross, a bunch of stuff. I can't think of everything off the top of my head. Tapu Lele was allowed. Magearna, stuff like that. So some pretty crazy stuff. Even Zeraora and Naganadel were allowed, which are new Pokemon. Or I guess not. Naganadel's actually in the game, but Zeraora is not even released yet. So kind of crazy with some Pokemon that are allowed. But yeah, we're here, 9 to 12 Pokemon per team, depending on how much points you spend on each Pokemon, and 50 points for Z-Move users. So your Z-Move users are the same price as they were to buy in general, but they go to your Z-Move, so that's pretty nice as well. Anyways, I wanted to do Facecam for this opening part, but I didn't make the PowerPoint with Facecam in mind, so I didn't really have a spot to put Facecam. So I'm actually just gonna get rid of the Facecam. I know it's kind of weird, but I wanted to introduce it with Facecam in case you guys didn't really know who I am. My name's LuceyGooseyFTW. I'll kind of introduce myself a little bit here before we get into this. I entered the Pokemon Draft League scene probably like on YouTube at least 3 months ago. With the UPL, but I've been doing Pokemon Draft League for almost a year now, which is kind of crazy. I got the game about a year ago for Sun and Moon, and I got into Draft League, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, I have not that much draft experience as everybody else in this league. I've only done a total of like 5 full seasons, I think, in Draft League, so only 5 seasons, while some people have like 50 seasons under their belts, or like 30 seasons, which is kind of crazy. I don't have that many. I don't really expect to do super well in this league, but I think that I can actually surprise some people. I'm pretty creative in my team sets, or at least I think I am. I'm not super smart when it comes to team building, but I like to think that I'm okay at team building when it comes to battling. Hopefully, I can make some good predictions. Anyways, guys, we're going to get into the team I drafted here. I'm pretty confident in the team that I drafted. There are a few things that maybe didn't go my way, like I got sniped a couple times in the draft, but overall, we had a really good draft. So I'm going to get into that, and I'm going to get rid of my webcam just so we can see the PowerPoint as it's supposed to be seen. So there we go. I am now gone, but you can still hear my voice, and we are going to go down to our first pick, which only cost me 18 points. Celesteela, as you guys can see right there. Celesteela is actually a really good Pokemon in my opinion. It's honestly one of the best Pokemon in Draft League. It's not broken because obviously Celesteela is in almost every Draft League out there. I don't think anyone bans it. But it's such a good Pokemon. Celesteela has great stats. 97 HP makes it really bulky. Pairing that with the 103 defense and 101 special defense. 61 speed is a little less to be desirable for, but it does get moves to boost that speed, and it's such a tank that it can take those hits as well. Obviously, special attack 107 and attack 101, just really balanced stats all around. You can run this thing physical or special depending on the moveset you really want to run. You can run this thing bulky with Leech Seed Protect. You guys can see it only cost me 18 points, which is really nice. And I put some notable moves on there. Heavy Slam, Acrobatics could be like a cool physical set with along with like Earthquake, Stone Edge, stuff like that. You also got Leech Seed Protect, which is a very common set. And then as far as the special moves go, Flamethrower, Giga Drain, Air Slash, Flash Cannon, stuff like that. Celesteela is really good on the special side as well. Mainly, you can run like a Assault Vest bulky set, which is kind of cool. That's one of my favorite Celesteela sets to run. You can run different berries on this, obviously, to make sure that it stays around, like Occaberry or Wakanberry. And also, I've seen a lot of people run Weakness Policy Autotomize, which is really cool. Double your speed as well as your special attack or physical attack. There's a couple other Celesteela sets out there, but I don't want to reveal everything that I'm going to do this season with Celesteela. I've used it before in a previous draft league, and I got to tell you guys, this is one of my favorite Pokemon, at least as far as versatility goes, and I hate going up against it. So I figured I don't really want to go up against it, so might as well pick it, right? So we're going to be going with Celesteela for our first pick. Now, going along with Celesteela, I wanted a team that really just fit together really well. That's usually what I do with drafts, is I try to get a team that really fits together rather for going for like straight power or like anti-stall, or I guess some people draft stall, or you know, bulky offense, something along those lines. I usually just go with a team that meshes together with Pokemon that I know. So the next pick, I picked another Ultra Beast, Nihilego, Plutonium. So we're going to be going with Nihilego, or Nihilego, or however you say it. 15 points it cost me, brought us down to 87, but it's a really good Pokemon. Honestly, I would say Nihilego is one of the top 10 Scarfers in Draft League format. It's super good. It's 103 speed, so giving it a Scarf really helps it out, but that 127 special attack is what makes it really good, along with so much coverage. You guys can see Power Jump, Sludge Wave for the stab, but along with Dazzling Gleam, Side Shock, Grass Knot, Thunderbolt, stuff like that makes it really good. It can also be Trick Room if you like get rid of all of its speed EVs. Sometimes you don't really expect that. Honestly, I probably won't run it this season because Trick Room is kind of a meme-ier type of thing. But Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes could be nice if you're running a Sash lead, Nihilego. But if this thing gets up, you know, if you're running Scarfed and you get that special attack boost, you can sweep through teams. It's kind of crazy. Also, that 131 special defense is not bad at all paired with the 109 HP. I've seen a lot of people run bulky or special defensive sets that also have the offense to pack a punch, kind of like a Sylveon type thing, where they're especially bulky but also pack a punch. So Nihilego is actually a really good Pokemon in my opinion, and it pairs really well with Celesteela. Obviously, Nihilego being 4 times weak to ground, Celesteela not resisting, but is actually immune to ground, stuff like that. Obviously, Celesteela, you know, weak to fire, while Nihilego, you know, checks that fire weakness. So they do check each other's weaknesses somewhat well, and I think it really fits as part of the team. But I wanted to keep going along with checking weaknesses. Obviously, Celesteela has that fire weakness, like I had mentioned before, and Nihilego has a couple of weaknesses, particularly 4 times weak to ground. So my next pick, I went with Rotom Wash. So Rotom Wash is a really good Pokemon in my opinion, one of the best, and now that it gets Defog makes it even better. It can get rid of hazards on its own, and Rotom Wash obviously having that Levitate ability to be immune to those ground type moves. So it's really nice to have Rotom Wash on the team as well, checking the fire weakness of Celesteela. And when I looked at these 3 picks, I'm like, wait a second, I have the first 3 picks of Regulator's D-League pick, and I didn't even realize that, or his D-League draft. I don't know if this was the first 3 that he picked overall, but I didn't even realize it until after I picked this core. I think it's a really nice core. It's not your typical, like, you know, Fairy Dragon Steel, Fire, Water, Grass type of thing, but they go together really well, in my opinion, and Rotom Wash can beat teams on its own, along with Celesteela and Nihilego. But Rotom Wash, obviously, those 107 defenses makes it really nice, and we so far have a pretty bulky team as far as bulky offense goes. So that is kind of something that I was trying to work for in this draft. But anyways, yeah, we've got that nice 105 special attack. Not learning Scald, which would make Rotom Wash almost the best Pokemon ever if it had Scald, but Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, Hex, Defog, Light Screen, Reflect, Trick. Those were the notable moves that really stand out to me. Trick some choice specs, or trick some choice scarfs onto things, Will-O-Wisping, physical attackers, stuff like that. Pain Split is really nice if you want to be able to heal all that health back, and Dual Screens Rotom is actually really good in my opinion. So Rotom Wash Washington is also going to be on this team. Next Pokemon, I really wanted to get a ground type because Celesteela is really what I'm basing this draft around. That electric weakness so far is not covered by my Pokemon, and I wanted a ground type. I also want to get a Rapid Spinner just because I know Stealth Rocks aren't going to affect my team super crazy right now at this point, but if I want to do like Sash Nihilego, or if I want to have a nice bulky Celesteela, rocks are something that really prevent that from happening, and rocks are really nice to break down walls, especially like Celesteela and Rotom Heat. So I want to get a nice spinner, so I went with Donphan. Donphan is a really good Pokemon in my opinion. Honestly, one of my favorite Pokemon to use in draft. We're going to be using Shiny Donphan, and if you see, the sprite looks a little bit different on the right, and it's because I have the HD Shiny sprites. I don't have the HD regular ones yet because they're not available, but if you guys want to pick up these sprites, there's PK Prezo, and there's also Furret Turret, which will be down below in the description if you guys are interested in those sprites I have on the right side of the PowerPoint. Anyways, Donphan cost me 12 points, which actually was kind of expensive for a Pokemon like Donphan, but it was definitely worth it for the Rapid Spin and a couple of other things that Donphan does well. We're going to be naming it Tantar after the elephant in Tarzan, and look at those stats. Just absolutely amazing for a physical wall. So far, you know, we had Nihilego, which was more of a special wall. You have the 2 mixed walls with Rotom. This is our mainly physical wall on the team. 120 attack, which is not bad at all. I've seen people run rock polish, weakness policy Donphans before, which is really cool because it has the sturdy, so it actually will live anything. You get that weakness policy off along with the rock polish, and although it only has a base 50 speed, you know, multiplying that by 2 could be really helpful in situations. We've got really nice notable moves. As you guys can see, besides Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, like hazard setting options, Knockoff is absolutely amazing, and Donphan, you will be surprised how good of coverage it gets. It gets Play Rough, Ice Shard, Gunk Shot. Ice Shard's really nice for priority, especially for Pokemon like Garchomp. Let's say Garchomp, you know, gets up a Swords Dance on me. Donphan can tank a hit and, you know, put up 2 Ice Shards on that thing, which could be really, really nice in a match. It also gets Seed Bomb, I believe, so that's another move that I forgot to put on there. But Rock Polish, like I said, could be an interesting set to run, and it hits everything really hard with Earthquake, obviously. Moving on to our next pick in the draft, I wanted to go with another bulky Pokemon. My team, honestly, is pretty bulky, but I went with a Pokemon I've never used before. I've used a Pokemon similar to it, but I've never used this one before, but it was really cheap, so I went with Uxie. 10 points for Uxie is honestly a deal, a really good deal in my opinion. It's not the greatest Pokemon in Draft League, but when it comes to support on a team, I have Rotom, I have Donphan now, and I feel like Uxie is just such a good Pokemon. Like I said, my team has been pretty bulky so far, and I think Uxie adds to that bulk really well with the 130 defenses and special defenses, and it adds to my knockoff weakness. Right now my team is pretty knockoff spammable, but Uxie can deal damage back. Obviously 75 special attack / attack isn't that great, but it's going to do some damage. Obviously Uxie is not like a super great attacker, but with 95 speed it can be really nice to set up some hazards as well. We do have some really good hazard setters so far on our team, being Nihilego and Donphan. Now we get another Stealth Rocker. And it also gives me the option to Trick Room, because I think Trick Room could really benefit my team if I use it in the right scenarios. Obviously Dual Screens and Memento, which is a really cool move that helped me set up with certain things. We got Trick as well, and Thunder Wave and Heal Bell. So as far as Thunder Wave goes, I usually don't like running status moves, especially Thunder Wave, because Paralysis is terrible, and I don't like anyone to have to go through that. But Thunder Wave could be really nice if there's a Pokemon that is just really tough to outspeed. So that is our Uxie. I think it's really nice. We're going to be naming it Brainiac, obviously. I keep saying obviously. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll try to switch up my words, but that's just something I usually do when I get into recordings. Next Pokemon we're picking is Persian Alola. 7 points. Brings us down to 45. You know, this is our 6th Pokemon, so we have 5 more, averaging about 9 more points per pick, which should be good. We've got an okay Pokemon right here. A lot of people underestimate Persian, because if you look at its stats, it's not the greatest. 65 HP, not super great. 60 defense and 65 special defense. So it's not great when you look at its stats, but with Fur Coat, that defense is doubled. I believe that's how Fur Coat works. And Persian has that 115 base speed, which is really nice. Taunt and Parting Shot are going to be really good moves on this thing. It's going to help us prevent things setting up on us, or as far as setting up, or as far as hazards go, excuse me. And Parting Shot really is nice because it can get us into a better Pokemon to set up and lower their special attack or attack. We also have Foul Play, which could be good to stop some physical attackers. It does get Knockoff now, which is really nice, and a couple of other moves. So Persian, I named it Sylvester. I think could be a really good part of this team. I haven't used it before, but I've seen other people use it pretty well. So I'm hoping that I can use it as well. Anyways, we're moving on. Next pick I have is Magmortar, or Magmortar, however you say it, named Lava Girl. It's going to be Shiny Magmortar. And I think it's a decent Pokemon. I was trying to look at more of a cheaper fire type because at this point most of the fire types are gone or too expensive. I wanted a little Marowak that was picked super early, so obviously I'm not going to be going with that. Anyways, 125 special attack is nothing to sneeze at. It's a really good offensive Pokemon. Also, you can run an Assault Vest set, which could be kind of cool. 83 speed, nothing crazy, but it does outspeed a lot of those base 80s and base 75, stuff like that. And 95 attack means that it could be run physical as well. But yeah, primarily just gonna be a fire type to have on the team. 67 defense, not that great. It's gonna die to any earthquake basically. But it's a good fire type to have. My team was looking pretty weak to grass at this point, so I wanted to make sure that I had another switch in besides Celesteela. So we have my Martyr, and fire types are always important to have. Anyways, next Pokemon on the team is Shaman. Shaman is one of my favorite Pokemon. We named it Tafiti after the Moana Island in that movie, Moana, you know? Anyways, Shaman with those base 100 stats all around, ability, natural cure. Shaman has so many great sets to run, and Shaman is just really versatile in my opinion. A lot of people run it as a bulky Pokemon, Leech Seed sub, something like that. Honestly, Shaman's so good when you run it offensive as well and defensive. Like, Shaman is really versatile. It's one of my favorite Pokemon to use in Draft League format. I've used it in 2 leagues now, and it's just absolutely amazing. And with Natural Cure, it means you can't Toxic it because I can just switch out to get rid of it. And that also brings about another set you can run. You can run Rest and then switch out, and now you're awake. So that's really cool. Shaman getting Seed Flare, which lowers their special defense by 2. Well, not all the time, but it can. Obviously, Leech Seed could be a really cool tech to bring. And then look at all of those coverage moves. Psychic, Earth Power, Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam. It also gets some nice support moves like Tailwind and Healing Wish. And Shaman is just a good Pokemon in my opinion. I think it can do a lot of good things for us this season. So that is that. Moving on to our next pick, I went with Druddigon. I wanted to finish up my cores because I know cores are important. And although I usually do go with the Fairy Dragon Steel, it wasn't looking like I was going to get that. But with my Martyr and Shaman, I was like, might as well go finish my Fairy Dragon Steel core as well. So I went with my Dragon. Don't have a Fairy yet, so you guys will see who I pick for my Fairy. But we got Druddigon for our Dragon, so I think Druddigon is a really underrated Dragon. So, yeah, anyways, Druddigon has 3 really good abilities. Rough Skin, Sheer Force, Mold Breaker, all of them are amazing, and it gets some really nice moves. So Stealth Rocks is going to be nice, even though we already have a lot of Stealth Rock setters. The versatility of having Stealth Rock setters really allows us to use Pokemon differently, like more offensive, like Donphan or like Druddigon. So Druddigon's got that base 120 attack, meaning it's gonna be putting in damage. Dragon Claw and Dragon Tail obviously to phase things out. Aqua Tail, Crunch, Outrage, Gunk Shot, Thunder Punch, Fire Fang, Iron Head. The coverage is really there. So Druddigon is a good Pokemon. You got 90 on both defenses, which is bulkier than you think. And that 48 speed is not something too great, but if I do run Trick Room, Druddigon could be kind of cool under Trick Room. Doesn't get any setup moves as far as I'm aware. I don't think it gets Swords Dance or anything like that. But it is a really good bulky Pokemon to set up rocks and take hits. And Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet is a really good set to bring with this thing. Anyways, we'll move on to our second to last pick right here. Sylveon. I mentioned Sylveon earlier when I was talking about, I believe, Nihilego. Sylveon is a really good Pokemon as far as being bulky and then dealing a ton of damage. That special defense is 130, meaning it's going to be taking special hits all day long. Along with the Calm Mindset, it's just absolutely amazing. I've used Sylveon before. I think it's really great. It's a good Wish Passer. It's a good Calm Minder. And it's just going to be a really fun Pokemon to use this season. 95 HP. Obviously, 65 defense is lacking, but we can work around that. We have a lot of physical defense or physically defensive walls on our team, including Persian, Donphan, Uxie, and Celesteela. So we definitely can work around that. And Celesteela checks this thing's weaknesses so well. You know, steel type moves, poison type moves. We switch in the Celesteela, and if they over predict and we stay in with Sylveon, we can get off a huge Hyper Voice. Obviously, there's a lot of Pokemon in the game that actually are now preventing Hyper Voice, like Soundproof Pokemon, and that new move from Zeraora, Plasma Fist. So we could probably run like Moonblast instead of that week. I have to think about that. That's something that will come into play while I'm prepping for matches. Wish, Calm Mind, Heal Bell, Side Shock, Shadow Ball, Baton Pass. There's a couple other moves that probably missed there, but Baton Pass is really nice. I believe it's slotted in this league. I have to confirm that, but as of this point, I believe it's allowed. And Heal Bell is really nice to be a cleric Pokemon. Along with that Wish, you can Wish Baton Pass, you can Wish Protect, stuff like that. And Hyper Voice with the spec set just does damage. As you guys can see there, we have 1 point left. And if you guys don't know, 1 point in this type of thing, in a PPL draft style, is not a lot of points. There's not too many Pokemon that fall to 1 point, and I was trying to find something that would be well worth it. There was a few things. Yanma was 1 point, and I think Yanma could be a really good Pokemon, just to maybe be able to use in one match or something. I believe Machoke was 1 point, so there was a few Eviolite users as well that maybe could have worked out, but I went with the best Pokemon I could possibly think of. We got Bidoof, everyone. Welcome to the team. He is the bread and butter of the team. You guys might not know this, but I built this whole team around Bidoof. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Only costs 1 point. We got that simple. We Swords Dance and we start quick attacking. We're just going to be knocking everything out. We'll be +3 Bidoof with that amazing 45 physical attack stat. And we're just going to be destroying things. And not to mention 40 defense and 59 HP. You slap an Eviolite on that thing, it's not going to take hits, guys. I'm just joking. Bidoof, I'm sorry, man. You're just on this team to be the doofus. Obviously, sort of a mascot pick. You know, we're the Chicago Bibarels. We got Bidoof, so sort of a mascot pick, but it will never come to a match unless I am, like, eliminated from playoffs and I'm doing some sort of meme match. But Bidoof, you're a really cool guy. I like you. You're the face of the team. You're our mascot this year. So, hopefully Bidoof can cheer for us on the sidelines. I put none under notable moves because, yeah. Anyways, we'll move on to the last part, our Z-move users. As I said earlier, we had 50 points to spend on Z-move users, which was quite a lot because we went with the budget picks. Some people went and they were like, I'm going to pick Genesect for 30 points, and then all of a sudden, they're like, oh goodness, I only have 90 points to spend on, 8 more Pokemon. So we went with a budget draft where everything was around like the 10-point range. That's basically where I came from. A couple of things more than 10 points, like Celesteela and Helico, stuff like that. But we averaged around like 12 points, 11 points there. So it was really nice because we got to pick 4 Z-move users. Actually, we picked 5, but technically 4. These are our Z users. You guys can see Uxie, Persian, Celesteela, Shaman, and Bidoof. I will never bring Bidoof. I had 1 extra point or 2 extra points or something like that, so I just gave Bidoof the Z Crystal, because why not? But, yeah, we've got Uxie, which is really nice. Z Memento could be killer in a situation. It heals up the Pokemon as well as lowering the special attack and physical attack by 2, and whatever Pokemon you switch in after Uxie faints is healed up to full, which could be amazing. It could save us in a match. And Z Heal Bell as well can heal up all of the status moves on your team, as well as heal you back up to full. So it's basically a free recovery up to full, like some sort of full restore type of thing. We also chose Persian because Z Parting Shot is one of the best moves in the game. It does the Parting Shot, but it heals up the Pokemon. I don't know if it heals it up to full, but it heals up the Pokemon that you switch into, which is really nice. If I had like a Azumarill on this team and I Z Parting Shot into an Azumarill that had taken a lot of damage, I could belly drum back up with that thing, something like that. But I don't have Azumarill. I used that before in a different league. But I do have a lot of Pokemon that Z Parting Shot into after they take a lot of damage, like Celesteela or Shaman or something like that is a really good idea. So I really like it. We've got Celesteela, which is one of the I guess most versatile Z move users in the game, with Steelium Z, Rockium Z, Groundium Z, Flyinium Z. There's a couple other ones you can run, like Grassium Z if you really want to. A couple in there, Firium Z, but Steelium Z with Heavy Slam or something along those lines, Flash Cannon. Rockium Z is really clutch in my opinion because Continental Crush can do a lot of damage to things, and Groundium Z to hit those electric types could be really cool as well, and I've seen Flyinium Z as well. Shaman, in my opinion, is one of the best Z-move users. I don't know why. I just think because no one really expects it to be a Z-move user, it can do a lot of damage. So Shaman has that base 100 speed, and a lot of times someone's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to switch in my Steel type or something on the Shaman to take the Seed Flare. So they switch in their Skarmory to take the Seed Flare. And Shaman's like, oh, I'm going to Seed Flare you, lower your special, defense by 2, and then all of a sudden Shaman pulls out a Z move and it just obliterates the Skarmory or something along those lines. But yeah, or you see like, I guess like a Heat Ram that try to take a Gracium or try to take a Seed Flare, and then I pull out the Tectonic Rage with Groundium Z. It's really nice. I think Shaman is a really good Z move user, so hopefully we can do some stuff with that. And Doofinium Z, which isn't a real thing, but if it was, I would definitely bring it. Like, give you a belly drum but not take any damage, and then kill your opponent as you use it. That would be a good Z move. But anyways, guys, that is actually gonna do it for the Chicago Bibarels draft recap. If I missed anything, let me know. But that is our team. You guys can see there on the right. I think it's a pretty good team. You guys can let me know what you think about it down below in the comments, and hopefully you're excited for this season. The battles start on the 26th. I'm going to be doing a team builder for my battle. I haven't done that in a while. I'm going to be doing a team builder, and I'm going to try to live comm the first week, and if you guys like it, then I'll continue to do live comms for this league. Other than that, the person we're going up against this week is Carney Hobo. He's got Genesect. It's going to be a tough build, so I've been building hard for that team, but it is really difficult to prep for something like Genesect. And other than that, make sure you guys check out all the coaches down below. There's 16 coaches in this league, and they're all really great YouTubers. So I'll leave all their links down below in the description. You guys can check those out. If you want to go check out the sprites that I used for this video, PK Prezo and Ferret Turret will be down below in the description, as well as the music that I hopefully put on in the background and remembered to put in during editing, all from no copyright sound. So that is going to do it for this video. Wish us luck, wish the Chicago Bibarels luck, and hopefully Celesteela, Nihilego, Rotom Wash, Donphan, Uxie, Alolan Persian, Magmortar, Shaman, Dredagon, Sylveon, and Bidoof, most importantly Bidoof, can bring us a championship this season. But that's it. I'm out for now. Peace!